Hello and welcome to Lane Tech's fall virtual production of An Evening of Radio. Now at this time, I would like to ask your patience with us. It is our first virtual production. So we're not quite sure how internet and Comcast will work with us at this time, but we're hoping for the best. So at this point, thank you once again for spending your Friday evening with us. Sit back and enjoy An Evening of Radio.
No, stay where you are. Do not break the stillness of this moment. For this is a time of mystery. Time when imagination is free and moves forward swiftly, silently. This is the haunting hour. The thought.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your pleasure and amazement, the 78 Club presents the Great Marlowe, the Mental Marvel. Gifted with a seventh sense, the Great Marlowe reads your mind and knows your every thought. Now I warn you, if you have a secret you don't want her to know, just don't think about it. Presenting the Great Marlowe!
Thank you. Thank you. Frankly, I can't explain the performance you're about to witness. Science, without explaining it, calls it telepathy. Thought transference.
I call it hokum.
The gentleman calls it hokum. Maybe. We'll see. Now everybody in the room concentrate. Think of a thing or a person. Concentrate. Think hard. Ah! I have a thought. Someone is thinking of the initials SG. Will the person thinking of SG please rise?
I've been thinking SG.
Thank you. Young lady, you are concentrating on the name of Stanley Green. Is that right?
Why, yes.
Ooh. Wow.
Stanley is in the army, I believe, correct?
Yeah, he's a sergeant.
And you want me to tell you Stanley's serial number? It's a 3400767. Is that correct?
Why, yes.
another thought. Someone is thinking. Ladies and gentlemen, please bear with me for a moment. I have to stop this performance. Believe me, it's important. I will be back very shortly.
I told you it was hokum. What happened, Professor? Forget your code.
Hey, what's the idea of stopping the act like that?
Where's your telephone directory, Marino?
What are you trying to do? Ruin my club's reputation?
Shut up, Marino. Where's your... Oh, here.
Now listen, Marlowe. I pay you $2,000 a week.
Glenwood to...
I expect to get my money's worth.
Listen, will you please leave? Just as soon as I'm through with this call, I'll finish the act.
All right, but make it snappy.
And close the door.
Hello?
Hello? I'd like to speak with Helen Thornton.
This is Mrs. Thornton.
Helen Thornton?
Yes, who's this?
My name is Marlowe, a telepathist performing at the 78 Club. A few minutes ago during my act, I received a thought that is vital to you. Are you alone?
Yes.
Do as I say, please. Lock all your windows and doors. Allow no one in under any circumstance.
If this is someone's idea of a practical joke, I'll...
Thornton, this is no joke. Someone in this nightclub is planning to kill you.
Hello?
This is Mildred. Helen, I just got in.
Oh, I've been trying to get to you for hours. I know it's very late, but could you come over?
Helen, what's the matter?
Oh, Mildred, I'm so frightened. I'm alone here.
Where's Jack?
He's out of town and it's Marie's night off. Oh, Mildred, I don't know what to do.
What's wrong?
Mildred, come over right away, please. You could spend the night.
Oh.
Oh!
Helen, what happened? What's wrong with you?
Oh, Jack.
Helen? Helen, you all right? Look, I'll be right over.
Oh, no, Mildred, it's all right now. Jack's home.
Well, what was the matter?
I'll speak to you tomorrow.
All right. Good night.
Oh, Jack!
What's the matter? What happened, darling? Helen, for praise sake, what is it? Oh, pull yourself together, darling. Here, come here and sit down. There, that's better. Now, what is it, darling?
Oh, Jack, I'm so glad you're home. It's been awful, and I didn't expect you, and when I heard the door, I
finished my business and walked sooner than I had planned. I would have wired, but I thought I'd surprise you. I met Fred Hamilton on the train coming home. Remember the buyer from St. Louis? We stopped off for a drink downtown.
Oh, Jack, you should have called me.
As a matter of fact, I did call you about 11, just as we were leaving the 78 Club.
The 78 Club. You were there?
What is it, darling?
Nothing. I'm all right now.
Something is wrong, Helen. What is it?
Well, I guess I was just frightened being alone.
You've been alone before, many times.
Yes, but that call...
What call?
Well, the police. There was a robbery in the neighborhood.
Oh, that's it. That's why the door was double locked. Well, darling, there's nothing to worry about now. I'm here, all right.
Oh, yes, Jack, you're here.
There, that's better. Good night's sleep and you'll be as good as new.
Oh, thanks, Jack.
Now you lie there and relax, darling. I'll go to the kitchen and get you a cup of warm milk.
Thanks, Jack.
Hello?
Oh, Paul, it's Helen. Didn't you get my message? I called twice.
Yes, but I just got in. I thought you'd be asleep by now.
Paul, you must help me. Please, Paul, there isn't much time.
Helen, what's the trouble?
He's going to kill me.
What do you mean? I
Oh,
don't.
Jack
I don't
is going to kill me. He came tonight and
Helen,
he...
what are you talking about?
Paul, you must believe me.
Now, listen, Helen. You probably had a bad dream. Is Jack there?
Yes. Oh, please, you must believe me. I know what he's going to do.
Well, we'll straighten this thing out. Let me speak to Jack.
Oh, no, Paul, you mustn't. Please, he's coming now. You'll never see me again, alive. Goodbye, Paul. From coast to coast, General Mills brings you the Betty Crocker magazine of the air, featuring Eve Curie, the famous daughter of one of the world's most famous women. And here to welcome Eve Curie is America's First Lady of Foods, Betty Crocker.
Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to you all. For just a moment, I'm going to ask you to imagine that you were someone else. Imagine what it would be like if your mother was the greatest woman scientist the world has ever known. Marie Curie gave the world one of its rarest elements, radium, which gave mankind the means of fighting its most dreaded disease. And she also gave the world a brilliant and charming young daughter who was never traded on her mother's name, but has achieved an eminence of her own as an author, lecturer, newspaper publisher, and above all, a French patriot. In just a moment, you'll meet Eve Curie, and having met her, you'll never forget her.
Well, since Mademoiselle Curie is French and I speak the Francis like the native, Betty Crocker, what is the menu for the day?
Well, in American, here's my menu for today. We start the meal with chilled orange sections, and for the main dish, tender, juicy, golden brown cod steaks served with buttered broccoli and a broiled sliced raw potatoes. And for a quick and easy dessert, a big slice of our gold medal apricot streusel coffee cake, golden brown with rich crumbs on top and a luscious, rich apricot filling.
Those gold medal coffee cakes. And in any language, make mine a big piece. And, you know, folks, if you haven't discovered how wonderful gold medal is for everything you bake, you're really missing something. Because gold medal is a perfectly balanced flour blended from as many as 4 select wheats. No wonder it's America's favorite all-purpose flour by nearly 2-to-1 over any other brand. And here's something else you should know. Over 1.5 million tests are made annually in the General Mills laboratories and kitchens to make sure gold medal flour is always uniform, with the same superb baking qualities sack after sack the year round. Get gold medal kitchen tested flour today and look for that folder of tested Betty Crocker recipes that comes in every single sack.
And now I want you all to meet our distinguished guest, a very lovely lady, Eve Curie.
Thank you for joining us today.
We are so delighted that you could drop in for a visit this morning, Eve, and welcome back to America, too. How long will you be here this time?
About 11 weeks doing a lecture tour.
Well, Eve, I know you visited America for the first time with your mother when you were just 16. What was your first impression of our country?
Well, as you know, Betty, on that trip, Mother had come to America to receive a most wonderful gift from the women of America. A $250,000 gram of the precious radium she'd discovered but was too poor to buy to continue her research. And there was so much excitement that I didn't have a real opportunity to get acquainted with America then.
But on your next visit, you made a coast-to-coast tour and became one of our most popular speakers. And what did you discover about America then?
Well, the European idea used to be that America was a nation of practical people all wrapped up in making money. I discovered that nothing could be more untrue. This is the most sentimental and idealistic country I know. It is the only country where one may find a genuine freshness of feeling, an immediate reaction to world events, and sincere indignation over wrongs committed. I have a deep love for America.
And America has taken you to her heart, too.
Miss Curie, I'd like to tell you just how much I enjoyed your biography of your mother. She was never really aware of her great fame, was she?
That's true, and she didn't mean to be modest, she just was. She never talked about herself to us, and I didn't know I had a famous mother until I came to America with her to receive the radium gift.
Well, Eve, you've achieved a fame of your own, and your modesty is most becoming. The work you did for France during the war has already made history. And now you're the co-publisher of the second largest daily newspaper in France. Won't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, we have a circulation of about 1.5 million, an afternoon paper. And as you know, the paper shortage is still very acute, so we only have 4 pages. Our Paris press looks very odd next to your nice, fat American newspapers.
And is your newspaper set up very much like ours?
Yes, and the French love serials. They were starved for American novels because there were none during the war. So we always have an American serial running in the Paris press.
Thank you, Eve. There has always been a tremendous spiritual bond between America and France, and I can't think of a lovelier ambassador of goodwill from your country to ours than Mademoiselle Eve Curie.
Merci.
And now, not to change the subject much, but it sure smells wonderful in the kitchen this morning, and I'm getting even hungrier than usual.
That's an apricot streusel coffee cake I have baking in the oven, Win, and it will be done in just a few minutes. It's a beautiful, light, tender quick bread with a surprise center of golden apricots and sweet, crumbly streusel topping.
Is there anything more wonderful than a freshly baked coffee cake and a piping hot cup of coffee?
And Eve, this apricot streusel coffee cake is especially delicious. And we're going to make one right now so you can see how it's made. Here are the ingredients if you'd like to jot them down. 1½ cups of sifted gold medal flour, 3/4 cup sugar, 3 teaspoons double action baking powder, ½ teaspoon salt, 1/4 cup shortening, 1 egg, ½ cup of milk, a teaspoon of vanilla, a ½ cup strained stewed apricots. Then, for the rich crumb topping, you'll need 1/4 cup brown sugar, firmly packed, 1 tablespoon of gold medal flour, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 tablespoon melted butter, and 1/4 cup chopped nuts.
That's what I smell. Cinnamon and brown sugar and chopped nuts. That's apricot streusel coffee cake.
And here's how it's made. Sift the flour, sugar, baking powder, and salt into a bowl. This way. Then cut in 1/4 of the shortening with a pastry blender or 2 knives until the mixture looks like a meal. Then all you do is stir in the egg, milk, and vanilla and pour them into the dry ingredients, stirring enough so that all ingredients are well blended.
What, no apricots?
Win's a big help around the kitchen, isn't she, Betty?
I wouldn't know what to do without her. We add the apricots now, Win, and here's an interesting part about this coffee cake. First, you spread half of the mixture into a well-greased and floured baking pan 6 by 10 inches, like this. Then, we'll spread the apricots over the batter well out to the edges of the pan so it covers the batter. This way. Now, we'll add the rest of the batter, spooning it over the apricot filling. This is much easier than pouring it. And you know, if there's a young baby in the house...
Oh, there is at my house.
Well, strained apricot baby food is just right to use in this coffee cake. Then sprinkle the streusel topping over the mixture. Now we're ready to bake our apricot streusel coffee cake in our preheated quick moderate oven at 375 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. So we'll just take out the one we made earlier and put the one we just baked into the oven, and there we are. And here's our apricot streusel coffee cake that's all baked and ready to eat. Doesn't it look tempting? Luscious, hot coffee cake topped with rich streusel crumbs and a layer of golden apricots through the center. Welcome anytime. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And wonderful for an afternoon snack with a big glass of milk. And here are some success tips to remember when making this recipe. Mix only enough to blend the ingredients. Don't overmix. And spoon the second layer of batter over the apricots. Then spread it. It's easier this way. Now, Win, I'm glad to see you've passed samples of our apricot streusel coffee cake to Eve Curie and our other guests.
And I sampled some myself, and as your #1 taste tester, I can say it is scrumptious.
Merci.
You'll come and see us again. Enjoy having you so much, and we wish you continued success on your American lecture tour and your French newspaper. Goodbye now, and may the future hold worlds of happiness for Eve Curie.
Love it to have you today. Folks, if you'd like to have that recipe for that luscious apricot streusel coffee cake, just drop a card to Betty Crocker, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and ask for the recipe by name. And don't forget, by saving the recipe folders that come in each stack of gold medal flour, you can build a prize recipe collection of your own. You see, all those Betty Crocker success recipes have been developed for and tested with America's favorite flour, gold medal kitchen tested enriched flour. And remember, each recipe folder contains a valuable silverware coupon too. By saving these coupons, you can build a complete set of beautiful Queen Bess pattern in genuine Tudor plate, created by the famous Juanita Community silversmiths. Get gold medal flour today, save the recipes, and save those valuable silverware coupons.
And I know you will all want to make a special date to join us on Monday because our guest will be that charming and handsome star of the silver screen.
What's he got that I haven't? Except a mustache.
Well, for one thing, he has an English accent because our guest on Monday is David Niven. You'll truly enjoy meeting him, so do be with us. I'll be expecting you. This is Matilda Wolf speaking for Betty Crocker.
You have been a guest of the Betty Crocker Magazine of the Air, brought to you Monday through Friday at this time for service, entertainment, and good eating by General Mills.
And now, welcome back to the haunting hour. Helen Thornton has discovered that someone wished to murder her. A mental telepathist performing at the 78th nightclub read the thought from among the guests. Later, Helen was shocked to learn one of the guests present in that very nightclub was her own husband, Jack.
Oh, don't bother folding up the dresses, Marie. Just throw them in.
Mrs. Thornton, isn't it kind of sudden you're going away?
Oh, don't ask questions, Marie. Hurry. Here, help me close this suitcase. You finish packing the other suitcase. I'm going down to get the car out of the garage.
Good morning, Helen.
Jack!
You look so surprised to see me.
Well, Marie said you had gone. I didn't expect to.
I decided to come back. I see I caught you in time.
I was just going over to Mildred's.
So early in the morning?
We have an appointment for golf.
Honey, in those clothes?
Darling,
it's all right. Helen, I'll tell you why I came back this morning. Frankly, I'm worried about you. Something's on your mind. I can know it. Won't you tell me what it is?
Oh, I'm all right.
Now listen to me. I had some very important business to sort out with Paul this morning, but you came first.
You saw Paul this morning?
No, I changed my mind on the way down and came back. Helen, you need a rest. You and I are going away.
Oh, no, Jack.
Yes, and there's no use arguing. I've already made a reservation for this weekend.
Where are you taking me, Jack?
Remember that cabin we stayed at 3 years ago?
Oh.
Oh, it'll be wonderful. Just the two of us all alone. We'll drive out there tomorrow. Now, there's no need to fuss either. Just a few old duds, my rifle.
Your rifle?
Yes, darling, my gun. The hunting season is on. The shooting at Lone Acres should be very good this year.
Now, Helen, what's this all about?
Oh, Paul, I had to see you.
Yeah, but why here at Luigi's all the way across town?
It's safer here.
What's gotten into you?
Jack is going to kill me.
Helen.
He is, Paul.
Don't be ridiculous. That's what you told me last night over the phone.
He's changed his plan.
Oh, I see. And why, Mrs. Thornton, is your husband going to kill you?
Because he's jealous of you.
Jealous? Jack, jealous of me.
He knows what we once meant to each other before I married him.
Why, of course he does. So what? Why, his winning you is a standard joke between him and me. Rivals in love, partners in business, and all that stuff. Come on, snap out of it. I think I better talk to Jack about you.
Oh, no, Paul, you mustn't. Oh, promise me you won't.
All right, Helen, if you say so.
Oh, Jack's taking me to Lone Acres tomorrow. For a rest, he says.
Good. That's just what you need.
I'll never come back alive.
Now, Helen, get a hold of yourself. Everything will be all right. Your imagination's overworked, that's all. You should go to Lone Acres for a rest. It will do you a world of good.
All right, I'll go, but I'm frightened. I'm so frightened. We will be alone and he will have his gun.
You know, Helen, sometimes I think I love this gun more than I do you. There, it's okay now. Clean as a whistle and ready for the work at hand. Say the fog's lifting. You can see clear across the valley. We'll get in some good hunting today after all. Helen, what's the matter? You haven't said a word since breakfast.
I'm all right. I've been wanting to finish this story.
Ah, the Golden Goblet murders. You know, detective stories hand me a laugh. Now, if I was planning a murder, well, I'd use a gun like this Springfield. Now, let's say, for instance, I wanted to kill... Well, let's say I wanted to kill...
Me?
All right, say I wanted to kill you. Now, let's see, we have to have a motive, don't we? No, I have a motive. Jealousy.
Jealousy?
Yes, I'm jealous of Paul Allen. That's it, I'm jealous of Paul.
Hun, I don't want to talk about it.
Come on, be a sport. Our murder plot is just beginning to get interesting. Now, let's see. We need a locale. Ah! Lone Acres! Right here! What a perfect setting for a perfect murder! Now for the time.
Oh, yes, Jack. When are you going to kill me?
Well, I shouldn't really tell you when I plan to kill you, but I'll give you a break. This afternoon. How's that? We'll be out in the woods hunting. No one will be too near. No one to see what happens. The hunting season. A gunshot. You're dead. A regrettable accident. And there is our perfect murder.
Campbell's short story, brought to you by Campbell's Tomato Juice, the largest selling tomato juice in America. Today we bring you 5-minute history. Each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Campbell's Tomato Juice brings you Campbell's short story, complete in each broadcast. Today's mystery stars Stevie Gale as Melville.
But first, a short story about Campbell's tomato juice. Well, the other evening, I was calling on some friends, Frank and Betty Walton, and Frank said to me in the course of the evening's conversation, "Hey, George, how in Sam Hill do you ever find so much to say about Campbell's tomato juice? After all, tomato juice is pretty much just tomato juice, isn't it?" Well, that gave me my chance. Excusing myself, I went out to the corner store and came back in a moment with 3 different brands of tomato juice. And out in the kitchen, I poured out glasses of each and brought them back to Frank and Betty. Well, the first glass I handed to Betty and said, "All right, I'll prove to you what a swell drink Campbell's tomato juice is." And here's what happened.
Sorry, George, but I don't think much of this. Tastes too thin and too watery. There's not much flavor either.
You're right there, Betty. Tastes pretty dull to me, too.
Well, so much for tomato juice number 1. Now, Frank, let's hear what you think of the next.
Well, this is better than the first one, but it doesn't have much oomph to it either. Not what I'd call a refreshing drink.
It's too thick, I think, Frank, and too sweet, don't you?
You hit it, Betty. It's too sweet to be refreshing. No, not for mine.
Very well, let's try tomato juice number 3.
I'll vote for this one. It's got a sort of lively taste that sure hits the spot.
Oh, it is good. Not too sweet, and it tastes so fresh. Well, you know, George, I think this is much better than tomato juice I've been buying.
And that goes for me, too. This sure is better tomato juice.
Well, that's what happened at the Waltons the other day, and that's what's happening everywhere every day. People are saying that today, Campbell's is a better tomato juice, even better than it was a year ago. They taste it once, enjoy its deeper, mellower flavor, its refreshing zip and sparkle, and from then on, their tomato juice is Campbell's, the largest selling tomato juice in America. Say, how about you? Have you tried Campbell's tomato juice lately?
Another 5-minute mystery. Our story takes place in Greens Gap, a small town in the Southern Cavern District.
Greens Gap Hospital. Dr. Melville speaking.
Oh, Doctor! Doctor, there's been an accident out at Echo Cavern!
Accident? What kind of accident?
Well, 2 men was exploring and they got lost last night. One's unconscious. You better come quick before he's dead.
I hope you know how to get out to Echo Cavern, Lem.
With the job of being town constable and ambulance driver, I reckon I know all there is to know about this country.
Ever been in the cavern, Lem?
Once, Doc Melville, when I was a boy. Nearly got my hide turned off by my pa. Echo Cavern is a mighty treacherous place.
You mean it's easy to get lost in it?
Well, not only that, Doc. It's that cavern gas, carbine, something.
You mean carbon dioxide?
Yeah, that's it. You know, all of a sudden, you run into some of that stuff, and before you know it, bing, you're out.
Still, people seem to go exploring there.
More fools to be. I wouldn't go in them caverns, at least if I was not without a dog.
A dog? What for?
Well, if a dog keels over, then you know the gas is collecting.
I'm afraid, Mr. Gaddy. Your friend is dead.
Poor Patsy. It was for the gas, wasn't it, Doc?
That's what it looks like to me.
Now, why did you go in that cavern anyway?
Patsy asked me to. You ain't never seen a cave before.
How far did you go in?
Well, it didn't seem very far, but all of a sudden, we lost our way.
And where was that?
Well, how do I know the whereabouts if we was lost? We tried to trace our way back, but it wasn't no use. And Patsy started to get scared. It's kind of funny to see a big guy like that get scared.
Yes, he is rather big now, isn't he?
Yeah, 6'4". The mob used to call us Mutton Jeff.
And then what happened?
Well, I was a little scared myself, but we stuck together. You know, walking in the dark with only the flash from a car, and all of a sudden, Pats just keels over.
From the gas?
Yeah, that's what I figured. He hit his head on a rock, and I guess that's just about finished him off.
Well, I suppose you reckon yourself pretty lucky, mister.
Yeah, sure. I figure it's because I'm only 5'3" that I got out of there alive. The gas must have been just about a foot over my head.
Yeah? What do you think about that, Doc Melville?
I think you better arrest Mr. Gaddy for the murder of his friend Patsy.
What was the flaw in Gaddy's story? Do you know it? In a moment, we'll hear from Lim and Dr. Melville. And now, let's see whether you're as observant as Lim and the doctor.
Hey, Kappa, let me put my hands down. They're tired.
When you're in Green Gap's jail, not before.
I don't get it. It was a good story. Still can't figure out how you found out.
Lem tells me they used to take dogs into the cavern because the gas is heavier than the air. It collects on the floor. If you really meant gas, then you would have keeled over first, before your pal Patsy.
Well, what do you know? I tell nowadays in this moiter racket you need a college education.
And again, welcome back to the Haunting Hour. Helen Thornton has discovered that someone wished to murder her. She fears that her husband Jack might want to kill her because of his jealousy of Paul, a former suitor. Her anxiety is heightened, and her husband suggests they go away for the weekend to Lone Acres, an isolated hunting lodge. Once there, Jack tells her it's the perfect setting for a possible perfect crime, her murder, a hunting accident.
Helen, here, up this way. Follow the path around the bend here.
Jack?
Yeah?
Would you mind if I went back to the cabin?
Helen, I'm going to circle this hill. You wait right here for me.
Oh, Jack! Jack, please don't leave me here alone! Ah!
'A regrettable accident, Mr. Thornton.
But, Doctor, I don't understand how it happened.
Now, Mr. Thornton, it's really nothing serious. It's just a shoulder flesh wound. Your wife is perfectly all right.
When may I see her?
We can go in right now.
She's asleep.
Go ahead, wake her up. She'll feel better knowing you're here.
Helen, darling. It's me, darling, Jack.
Mrs. Thornton, it's your husband.
Ah! Oh, doctor, get him out of here! He's going to kill me, please! Doctor, you must save me!
Mr. Thornton, perhaps you'd better leave the room a while.
All right, Doctor. I'll wait outside.
Oh, doctor, please don't let him in here again. You must believe me. He's planning to kill me.
Mrs. Thornton, what happened was an accident.
Oh, that's what he wants you to think. He planned it that way, but it wasn't an accident.
Now, Mrs. Thornton, it's natural in a case like this for you to imagine strange things.
Oh, doctor, you think I'm crazy, don't you? But I'm not. I know what I'm saying. You yourself took the bullet out of my shoulder. Doesn't that prove he was trying to kill me?
On the contrary, Mrs. T, on the scene of the accident, they found your husband with a .32 caliber rifle in his hands. The bullet I removed from your shoulder was a .45 caliber pistol cartridge.
Marie! Marie?
Yes, Mrs. Thornton, I will be right up. I was just cleaning the scullery, ma'am. Oh, Mrs. Thornton, you have the sling off.
Yes, Marie. The doctor says the shoulder is okay now. Soon I will be playing golf again.
Oh, that's fine, ma'am. I'm so glad.
Were there any calls for me while I was out?
Mr. Thornton called to tell you not to wait up for him. He will be home very late. Oh, and Mr. Allen called too, Mrs. Thornton.
Did he say what he wanted?
No, ma'am. He said he'd try to get you later on. Oh, and Mrs. Thornton, I was thinking, do you suppose Mr. Thornton wants to keep this box of bullets downstairs on the open shelf? I was thinking it might be dangerous.
Bullets?
Yes, this box right here.
Oh, let me see that box, Marie. 45 caliber cartridges. 45 caliber cartridges!
At the scene of the crime, they found a .32 caliber rifle in your husband's hands. The bullet I removed from your shoulder was a .45 caliber pistol cartridge. 45, 45,
45. Evening. Have you a reservation, madam?
Oh, no, I'm here to see the great Marlowe.
Oh, I see, madam. And perhaps a table on the side.
No, I've come to see her on a personal matter. She's expecting me.
Oh, yes, madam. Albert, Show this lady to the great Marlowe's dressing room.
And when the doctor told me about the bullet he removed from my shoulder, I thought it was all a terrible mistake. I was even too ashamed to explain to Jack why I acted the way I did. Oh, now, Miss Marlowe, I'm sure what you told me that night over the phone is true. Someone is really planning to kill me. My husband.
Are you sure the doctor said it was a .45 caliber pistol?
Oh, yes, a .45 caliber cartridge, just like these Marie found in the basement.
Does your husband have a pistol?
I think so. He keeps his guns locked in the case, and he has the only key. Oh, Miss Marlowe, he tried once and failed. He will try again. You must help me.
All right, Mrs. Thornton. I will do all I can. Where's your husband now?
Oh, he's out on business. He will be home late.
Then we'll have to work fast. I go on again at 9 o'clock. I want you to go home immediately and find some way to open that case where your husband keeps his guns. If you can find a .45 caliber pistol in that case, I think we can put an end to this affair.
Hello?
This is Marlowe.
Oh, I opened the case and there was no pistol. I've searched all through the house and I can't find it anywhere. He must have it with him. Oh, what can I do? I can't stay here tonight. He will kill me. I haven't even got children.
Thornton. Listen to me, please. You must come down here immediately. A few moments ago during my act, I received the murder thought again. Mr. Thornton is in this nightclub.
My husband is there now?
Yes. Meet me in my dressing room. Be sure to come in through the back entrance. And hurry.
All right, Miss Marlowe.
Where am I supposed to be right now?
Jack! Oh, but she said you were standing there the whole time. You heard everything.
Enough.
It's not you. Oh, then who is it at the 78 Club?
Me, 78 Club. Helen, are you going to tell me what this is all about?
Oh, it's not you. Oh, yes, darling, I will tell you everything, everything. Oh, I should have told you before. I wanted to. Oh, Jack, I need you so much.
Now, look here, Marlowe. I want to get to the bottom of this.
Mrs. Thornton and I have told you everything.
Yes, well then explain to me why at the very moment I was standing in my own house, listening to my wife talk to you on the phone, you were telling Miss Thornton I was in this club planning to kill her. Oh, don't you see, Helen? This woman is a cheap trickster. She's never even seen me before. Oh, why didn't you come to me when this all started, darling?
Oh, I was afraid.
Because she thought you were the one, and so did I. That's why I assumed it was you sitting out there. Of course, I never saw you until you entered my dressing room just a few minutes ago. You see, Mr. Thornton, I have a telepathic mind, not a magic eye. I know what your wife and I have told you is hard to believe.
I don't know what your game is, but I'll find out soon enough. Come on, Helen, we're going to police headquarters.
That won't be necessary, Mr. Thornton. The police know about this. I told them.
Huh?
The police are here now, in this nightclub. Mr. Thornton, whether you believe it or not, your wife's life is in jeopardy. Someone in this club now is planning to kill her. Perhaps this will convince you. You own a .45 caliber pistol with the serial number 75682.
Why, yes, that's right. That's the pistol I reported missing.
Yes, I know. The police told me tonight.
Jack, why didn't you tell me?
Well, darling, you've been so upset lately. I didn't want to cause you any more anxiety.
That pistol, in all likelihood, the pistol that was used in an attempt on your wife's life up at Lone Acres. Mr. Thornton, that pistol was brought to this club tonight by the very person who was planning to kill your wife. The police found it concealed in a coat in the hat check room. Whoever claims that coat is Mrs. Thornton's intended murderer.
Why would anyone want to kill her?
Who could it be?
We will soon find out. Mr. Thornton, do you recall the night you were in this club? The night I first received the murder thought?
Yes.
That night, did you see anybody here, or were you with anyone who knows you and Mrs. Thornton very well?
Well, let me see. Well, Yeah? No, it couldn't be!
Pardon me, please.
We got him, Mr. Marlowe. Here he is.
Mrs. Thornton, your intended murderer.
Oh, Paul?
That's right. He was here the night you received the murder thought.
It was Paul the whole time.
It almost worked.
Yes, and all the clues pointed to you, Mr. Thornton.
Oh, but why? We were so friendly, the three of us.
Friendly? More than that, Mrs. Thornton. Paul Allen was hopelessly in love with you.
You should have never chosen Jack over me.
Mr. Marlowe, you're on now.
Right, I'm coming.
Let's go, Alan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 78 Club presents the Great Marlowe, the Mental Marvel. She will read your mind and know your every thought. But I warn you, if you have a secret you don't want her to know, just don't.
From shadows and stillness, mystery weaves a spell of the strangest fascination, charging the mind with doubts and fears. The mystery is a strange companion, a living memory. In the haunting hour.
This is Abby McKenzie speaking for Girl in Audience and Betty Walton.
This is A. Sisson, speaking for Gaddy.
Hello, I'm Ava Koloje, and I play Marie.
This is Ayushi speaking for the doctor.
This is Christina Liberto speaking for Marino.
This is Dahlia Lesimon-Lecavay speaking for MC and announcer.
This is Felix Jones speaking for Putnam and police officer.
This is Grace Herning speaking for Marlowe.
This is Graham Hansen speaking for the announcer.
This is Jolie Marr speaking for Win.
This is Lila Stern on sound.
This is Maya Todorovich speaking for Mildred and person on phone.
This is Molly Donahoe speaking for Eve Curie.
This is Matilda Wolf speaking for Betty Crocker.
This is Matthew Gomez speaking for Lem.
This is Nova Gomez speaking for Helen Thornton.
This is Oscar Stennis speaking for Heckler and Frank Walton.
This is Patrick Berger speaking for Jack.
This is Redden Gardner speaking for Paul Allen.
This is Sarah Hobson speaking for narrator and doorman.
This is Stevie Gale speaking for Dr. Melville.
And this is Molly Meacham speaking as a director. On behalf of the cast, thank you so much for your time. I hope you have time to enjoy a piece of coffee cake and have a nice evening. Good night.